Roach didn't back down.
At all. And did you see the size difference in the ring? Obviously, Roach being the bigger man, but
Roach came up. Roach normally fights at 130. He came up to 135.
Hopefully, after I win, I can defend both. I want to unify, or, if we do a rematch, then we could do that.
Everybody's trying to protect that O. Ain't nobody want to take no chances. Because they feel now if I take a chance, I lose. Ocho, my career. Bro, stop it.
ESPN Analysts went off on Gervonta Tank Davis for turning down a rematch with Lamont Roach, and it's not a good look. Fans wanted Davis to step back in the ring and prove he's the real deal. But now people are wondering if he's avoiding a real challenge. Stephen A. Smith and Shannon Sharp didn't hold back, calling him out for not acting like a true champion. With the boxing world buzzing and fans demanding answers, Davis is feeling the heat. Has he just dodged a fight that could have defined his legacy?
I just so happen to be a boxing fan that the fact that I do watch him fight, you know what I'm saying? Like, I really like boxing.
Are you open to immediate rematch?
In my contract, immediate rematch was signed. I signed for the immediate rematch when I signed for the first fight.
Right.
Just in case he lost or just in case it was a draw.
So when you got a rematch clause, how long we take it?
It's up to the A side and when they want to fight. So I'm thinking it's going to be soon. I'm hoping it's going to be soon. Let's say that.
What is soon to you? When you say soon to me, I'm thinking a month.
I'm thinking July.
I'm thinking July for sure.
The fight between Davis and Roach was highly anticipated, with fans expecting Davis to showcase his dominance. However, the match played out differently as Roach performed better than expected and challenged Davis throughout the bout. The key moment came in the 9th round when Davis unexpectedly took a knee. He later claimed that hair grease got into his eyes and blurred his vision, a statement that sparked controversy and skepticism. The referee didn't count it as a knockdown, a decision that has been widely debated. ESPN analysts were vocal in their criticism of Davis's performance and the 9th round incident. They questioned the legitimacy of his explanation and raised concerns about his focus and preparation. Smith pointed out that distractions in boxing can be costly, and champions must be fully prepared both mentally and physically. Max Kellerman added that the incident raises questions about Davis's training and attention to detail.
I gotta stand down and give mad respect to Lamont Roach. Brother fought one hell of a fight. This was a damn close fight. Gervonta taking a knee should have been a knockdown. Either way, Roach has skills. Fought his ass off. Deserves nothing but respect. He earned the boxing world's attention tonight. He has mine. Thought he'd be too small. I was wrong.
Sports analyst Stephen A. Smith shared concerns about Roach's size disadvantage against Davis, saying, "I think Roach is too small. That's my issue. I'm not questioning his skill set or anything like that." Other boxing experts agreed, including former interim WBC lightweight champion Ryan Garcia, who commented, "I don't think Roach has the firepower to hold off Tank. I think he's got great skills, but you really have no chance."
My picks on 3 fights taking place Saturday night at the Barclays Center in New York City between Gervonta Tank Davis and Lamont Roach, Gary Russell versus Jose Valenzuela, and Sandor Martin versus Alberto Puello. Gervonta Davis uses knocks somebody out inside of 85 punches because he's clearly capable of that. But I just see this as being the kind of fight where he's going to have to run him down. He's going to have to walk him down, rather, and he's going to have to throw some punches before he ultimately catches him. And that's how I view it. So I'm going to go with more on this particular one. Next up,
Lamont Roach Jr. wants a rematch with Gervonta Tank Davis after their controversial majority draw on March 1st at Brooklyn's Barclays Center. The fight ended with one judge scoring it 115-113 for Davis, while the other two had it even at 114 dot. A key moment came in the 9th round when Davis took a knee, saying his eye was irritated, but referee Steve Willis did not count it as a knock. Roach believes this affected the final result and expressed his disappointment, saying, "I thought I pulled it out. I definitely thought I won, but we can run it back." Davis has also shown interest in a rematch, hoping to make it happen by the end of May, as both fighters want to settle their rivalry once and for all.
From a division lower, moves up and gives Tank Davis his toughest fight. I thought beating him on the inside, making him miss, putting offense behind defense after making him miss, being more active. Obviously, Tank's going to have the edge in power. Tank is going to have the edge in power strikes. I think ultimately the stats spoke to that. I don't think that this was a disaster. I think it'd be strong to call it a disaster. The fight was not great up front. The fight was not great in the middle, but it was very good. Not amazing, but definitely very good down the stretch. I think we can all agree with that.
Despite Lamont Roach Jr.'s frequent calls for a rematch after their controversial majority draw on March 1st, Davis has made it clear that an immediate rematch is not in his plans. The fight ended with one judge scoring it 115-113 for Davis, while the other two judges had it even at 114. A key moment came in the 9th round, when Davis took a knee after a jab from Roach, sparking debates on whether it should have been ruled a knockdown. However, referee Steve Willis did not count it as such, a decision that has been widely discussed. Roach's team appealed the draw, asking for a review of the 9th round incident. However, the New York State Athletic Commission upheld the original decision, stating that both fighters followed the referee's rulings during the match. Roach and his team were disappointed with the decision, believing it impacted the final result and should have been reconsidered. Davis acknowledged Roach's strong performance, but made it clear that a rematch is not his priority right now. He hinted at other plans for his next fight, telling fans they would soon find out who his next opponent would be. With no official announcement yet, speculations have begun about potential matchups. Roach remains determined to secure a rematch, believing there is unfinished business between him and Davis. He continues to push for another fight to settle the controversy. As both fighters move forward with their careers, the boxing community is eager to see whether a rematch will happen or if Davis will choose a different challenge.
I'm not sure, bro. I'm definitely not sure, but hopefully we could get it before. Nah, it probably won't be this year.
Is that the one you want next?
It's definitely the one I want next, but it's not gonna be next.
What is?
You might see it in a minute.
The controversy around the Gervonta Davis vs. Lamont Roach fight has grown as the New York State Athletic Commission, NYSAC, has officially started reviewing the bout's outcome. According to Boxing Kingdom, technical difficulties initially delayed an immediate assessment of the crucial 9th round incident where Davis took a knee. Many believe this should have been ruled a knockdown in Roach's favor, which could have changed the final decision.
Even without the knee, that should have been a knockdown. I thought I should have won a competitive fight. I think I did what I needed to do necessary to bank the rounds. I'm just a little frustrated with the scorecards. I thought I should have won.
The boxing community and fans reacted strongly to the fight's outcome, with many believing Roach deserved the win. They felt that not calling the 9th round incident a knockdown affected the final result. Social media was flooded with debates, and hashtags like Roach robbed started trending. Prominent boxing figures also shared their opinions. Floyd Mayweather commented, "Tank still got it, but that 9th round was a mess. Roach gave him a real fight. Rematch makes sense." Or Stevenson added, "Lamont outworked Davis, no question. That draw stinks of favoritism." As the debate continued, calls for a rematch grew louder. Roach made it clear he wanted another fight, saying, "I definitely thought I won this fight. I went toe-to-toe with one of the best and proved I belong at $135. They can boo all they want, but I'm not satisfied with a draw. I want that rematch." Davis, acknowledging the controversy, said he was open to it, stating, "Lamont's a great fighter, but I felt I did enough. The grease in my eye threw me off, but I'll be back stronger. Let's run it back."
I mean, he didn't fall down on himself. The wind didn't push him and made him fall on his knees. I had to boom, hit him with that right hook, hit him with that left hook, and made him fall, hit him with that body shot, pow. I don't know, but that wasn't an official knockdown. Me, I feel like that should have been an official knockdown, but hey, I'm not a professional ref. I don't even know the rules for real. I just know, boom, don't hit nobody in the back of the head, don't hit nobody, to keep your hands up at all times, and no low blow shots. That's all I know. But y'all, is y'all going to anticipate they need to have a rematch? Should they have a rematch, yes or no? Y'all let me know. Should they have a rematch, yes or no? Do y'all actually even want to see the rematch, yes or no? Because me, I want to see the rematch. I need to see a rematch because, bro, this was too good of a fight for it to be a draw. Like, they should have, that same night, all right, it's a draw. We're going for 3 more rounds. 3 rounds, 1-minute rounds. Boom, we got to settle this. And whoever wins, that's win.
Davis has announced that he is stepping away from boxing to focus on his mental health and personal growth. The undefeated WBA lightweight champion shared that boxing has given him an aggressive mindset, which he now wants to change, especially for the sake of his 2 daughters. While he acknowledges that boxing has shaped his identity, he also feels that it has fueled emotions he no longer wants to carry. In a candid statement, Davis said, "I want to do therapy. I want everything out of me, whereas though I'll never think about fighting again." This decision marks a big shift for the 29-year-old fighter, known as one of boxing's most dominant and explosive athletes. Instead of chasing more titles, Davis is choosing to focus on self-improvement, using therapy to find inner peace. By stepping away from the sport, he hopes to reinvent himself beyond boxing, set an example for his children, and show that true strength is not just about fighting in the ring, but also about personal growth and emotional well-being.
That's why I don't want to box no more. I want to do therapy, right? But I feel as though if I do therapy, it will lose the fire that I have inside me. I want everything out of me where so I don't never think about fighting again. I don't think about even getting angry, you know what I mean? Because I have 2 girls, 2 daughters. I'm wanting to be much softer, you know what I mean? Be more humble and things like that.
The majority draw between Gervonta Davis and Lamont Roach Jr. has caused major controversy, mainly because of a key moment in the 9th round. During this round, Davis took a knee, saying hair grease got in his eye, but referee Steve Willis did not count it as a knockdown. Many disagree with this decision, as a knockdown ruling would have given Roach a 10 out of 8 round, which could have changed the fight's outcome. The New York State Athletic Commission is now reviewing the incident, stating that technical issues prevented them from assessing it during the match. This review has added to the ongoing debate about the WBA's role in the controversial result.
I must say, do it enough.
Can you describe what the feeling was like in the ring? And was it to get the towel out, to get the burn out of your eyes, or what was going on? And
I didn't want to get caught. I didn't want to get caught while my eyes was burning. And you know, like, you can get knocked out like that. So I'd rather take the knee than, you know. But I didn't really know that you can like get disqualified for all that. Or like, when you start counting, I'm like, what the hell? But I don't know. It's cool.
Mike Tyson has praised Gervonta Davis's skills, saying that with focus and the right choices, Davis has the potential to become a legend. While Tyson recognizes his talent, he also stresses the importance of making smart decisions both in and out of the ring. His advice shows that he sees Davis's potential, but also warns about the challenges that could slow his rise.
I don't really be trying. I like to hit the face.
What was Mike Tyson?
He was a brawler.
Brawl means more than one person. So he knocked people out real quick. You knock people out real quick.
Yeah, but I can knock you out like...
So you saying that you can knock him out faster than Mike Tyson, probably, if it was a challenge?
Mike Tyson got power and skills. I feel as though like I have like the whole package.
George Kambosos Jr. strongly criticized Gervonta Davis after his controversial draw against Lamont Roach Jr. Kambosos praised Roach for his skill and toughness, noting that not many fighters have been able to challenge Davis like he did. He also questioned whether Davis can compete against top-tier opponents. The fight was filled with controversy, especially in the 9th round when Davis took a knee, but it was not ruled a knockdown. This decision sparked debate, with many in the boxing community believing Roach should have won.
What did you make of that fight on the weekend? What did you make of the controversy in that one?
Look, I had just finished my recovery session, so I was pretty docile and relaxed, and then the fight, especially at the start of it, wasn't too thrilling and too action-packed, so I was starting to doze off a little bit, but I woke up a little bit more when obviously Lamont started giving him some work, and he looked good, man. I got to give respect to Lamont Roach. He proved a lot of guys wrong. I think he shocked Tank a lot with what he was able to bring, and again, we saw the controversy with the knee. To me, that's a knockdown. You can't just take a knee and decide to, go to your corner and get your face wiped. So, if that's a 10-8 round, Lamont wins the fight. So it's, unfortunate, but that's the fight game. Hopefully they'll do it again and he gets paid, what he's worth.
Have you ever seen anything like that in boxing before? A guy sort of just voluntarily...
We've seen Floyd take a knee and be put on the count. We've seen Miguel Cotto, take a knee, obviously into his corner, be put on the count.
Despite the controversy, Tank Davis seems more focused and determined than ever. Reports say he has changed his mind about retirement and is now fully committed to a rematch with Roach. Many fans and analysts have noticed a shift in his attitude as he appears more eager to return to the ring and prove himself. His decision to go for the rematch marks an important change in his career, showing that he is ready to silence his critics and reclaim his dominance.
Looks like Tank was not playing about this rematch, man. He's looking to probably get back in the ring with Roach by the end of May. And as far as that retirement stuff, it looks like that's out the window as well.
Course of your plans for your future?
Yeah, it definitely changed my plans. It definitely changed my plans. I probably got like 4 more fights now. For sure.
But I'm going to be honest with y'all, man. As much as, we hate the fact that he had a draw, I think this was the best thing for Tank. You could just kind of see, even in the press conferences and everything like that, he was kind of forcing himself to be interested. And I only know one person that can bring his interest back. Calvin is the key, man. Calvin has known Tank since he was a child. Nobody knows Tank more than Cal, man. He's the only person that I believe that can bring the best out of Tank. But what do y'all think, man? What do you think Tank needs to do differently in his next fight so he can get back to doing stuff like this, man, after the end of his fights? Comment down below.
Boxing analyst Showbiz the Adult has made a bold prediction, claiming that Lamont Roach Jr. will win by knockout in his rematch against Gervonta Davis. He bases this on Roach's strong performance in their first fight, where he went the distance with Davis and showed skill and toughness that few have managed against the undefeated champion. Their first encounter ended in a controversial majority draw, with many believing Roach had done enough to win. A key moment in that fight came in the 9th round, when Davis took a knee, saying that hair grease got into his eyes and affected his vision. However, referee Steve Willis did not count it as a knockdown, sparking debate in the boxing community. Showbiz the Adult dismisses Davis's explanation, suggesting that such distractions won't matter in the rematch. He believes Roach will come in better prepared and more determined, knowing he can push Davis to the limit. This time, Roach is not looking to leave the fight in the judges' hands. Instead, he aims to secure a clear knockout victory, making sure there is no controversy and proving himself as a top fighter in the lightweight division.
You got any grease in your hair tonight, Tank? That is it. Lamont, please say that in the second fight. Any questions? You got any grease in your hair tonight, Tank? Like, you got any grease in your hair tonight, Tank? Like, hey, bro, be on that. Because here's the thing. He never hurt Roach. Roach just waited. And Roach was squared up and turned sideways. And I'm like, oh my God. I didn't think he had that. He was like, I'm like, oh my. And then he just sitting there like, you can't. I know what you're going to do because I've trained with you since we were kids. Tarver beat Roy, but he knew Roy since amateurs. Roy said he never liked fighting sparring partners because they know you so well. I should have listened to Roy.
A pivotal moment in the fight happened in the 9th round when Davis took a knee after a jab from Roach. Referee Steve Willis did not rule it as a knockdown, a decision that has been widely debated. The New York State Athletic Commission, NYSAC, later admitted that technical difficulties prevented them from using instant replay to review the incident in real time. They explained that a technical issue stopped them from receiving the replay video within the required time, forcing them to rely on the referee's original decision. This statement has fueled further discussions, as a knockdown ruling could have changed the final scorecards in Roach's favor. Despite the controversy, the NYSAC has upheld the original decision. They stated that since the fight continued for more than 3 full rounds after the referee's ruling and both fighters had to adjust to it, the call did not directly decide the fight's outcome. However, many fans and analysts still believe that the non-call had a major impact on the result, keeping the debate alive.
To override his decisions or knockdowns. Some skeptics have suggested that Willis's call benefited Davis unfairly, but we do not subscribe to that notion. In our long experience judging fights, we see no evidence of favoritism, only a referee prioritizing the physical safety of a fighter who appeared compromised by an eye injury, which I actually get. I understood that statement because, hey, look, Steve Willis he didn't call it a knockdown.
You take a knee like that, that looks like a knockdown. All right?
So I think it's going to be very difficult for the New York State Athletic Commission to review this and then call it a knockdown.
WBA President Gilberto Mendoza made a shocking statement about Gervonta Davis's fight against Lamont Roach. Taking to Twitter, he reiterated his stance, saying, "Let me repeat, I stand by what was expressed last Sunday in Ring magazine. Based on my 30-plus years of experience, taking a knee without a punch shall be ruled a knockdown." It affected the result of the fight. This remark has put Davis under intense scrutiny, as it suggests that an incorrect ruling may have influenced the outcome. Fans and analysts are now debating whether the fight should be reviewed or even overturned. MMA journalist Ariel Helwani also analyzed the fight between Davis and Roach, describing it as satisfactory but not exceptional. He particularly focused on the controversial 9th round when Davis took a knee. Helwani argued that under standard boxing rules, such actions should be considered a knockdown. His opinion aligns with many fans and analysts who believe that the referee's decision not to count it as a knockdown significantly impacted the fight's outcome. The incident has sparked debates about rule interpretations and the consistency of officiating in boxing. Many in the boxing community are now questioning whether referees need clearer guidelines for handling similar situations in future matches. As discussions continue, the controversy surrounding the fight remains a hot topic.
That and the other, like, it all kind of felt like an afterthought. And then the fight happens, and truth be told, like, the fight wasn't the best fight of all time. It was fine. It wasn't your vintage Tank Davis fight. There wasn't a knockout. There wasn't a knockdown scored by him. It was just sort of fine. If that was your first time watching Tank, you're probably like, okay, yeah, sort of, I get it. But it kind of speaks to his demeanor going into the fight. Like, it just felt a little bit underwhelming. And then we get to the 9th round, and then it's complete madness, because in the 9th round, you probably have heard by now, the fight is moving along, and it is important to note that Lamont Roach lands a jab or two, and where we want to start the clock is up to, debate, but he certainly lands a punch. And then seconds after that punch lands, that jab lands, all of a sudden Tank Davis takes a knee. He quickly takes a knee, and there it is right there. 9th round, 217. He is taking a knee, and he's looking to his corner. And he also, ever so briefly, it appears as though he's almost trying to call time. Let me tell you, in case you don't know, in boxing, you take a knee, that's considered a knockdown. You cannot call time. And you know what you also can't do? You also can't go to your corner mid-round and ask them to wipe your face. Ask them to do anything. You can't get a swig of water. You can't do this. You cannot do that. But that all happened. And so the referee for this fight is a legendary referee. Steve Willis, you have probably seen him in GIFs. He's got that kind of like big-eyed look. You've definitely seen him. He's a veteran of the fight game. I'm not exactly sure what happened. I'm not suggesting he was in on it. But like, there was certainly a fumbling.
All right, that's all for today. What do you think about everything we just uncovered? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I love reading what you all have to say. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more updates like this. Turn on the notification bell so you don't miss out on any of the latest stories. Boxing Glory, signing off. Stay safe, stay informed, and I'll catch you in the next one.